thanks for tuning to Conversations with Betty LaMarr. On today's program, Betty will flashback to her star-studded conversation with the leading actors of the movie G, starring Golden Globe Award winner Blair Underwood and renowned actors Richard T. Jones and Andrea Royo. And now let's join your host, Miss Betty LaMarr.
We are live here at the Madison Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome to the Black Information Highway and the Nighthawk Show. I'm here live with the cast of G. G is a new movie, new African-American movie that will be debuting here in Memphis on September 16th. Without further ado, we're going to go into the casual roundtable discussion with the cast of G. To the Nighthawk Show. I'm Betty LaMarr, and I'm here at a nice casual roundtable discussion with some of the most handsome men that I think have embraced the city of Memphis in a very long time. Mr. Blair Underwood, Richard T. Jones, and Andrea Royo. So how are you gentlemen doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. First of all, I want to know about G, and I'm going to turn it over to Blair Underwood.
Yes, please.
Please.
I think that's very important. I think it's a great way to start off.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mr. Blair Underwood.
Yeah.
This is what I had to deal with.
All right.
Let's turn it over to Mr. Hightower. Chip Hightower, tell me about your character in the movie G, and what are we to expect? What's my audience? What are they to expect, brother, from Chip Hightower? And
You want me to take this?
Yes, I do.
All right.
You can expect craziness and madness, and then some. G is about this gentleman right here.
No.
I mean,
I'm just the title character.
Richard T. Jones, the T as in terrific. Richard Terrific Jones plays Summer G, and he can tell you who he is. But basically, it's a love triangle story, and it's seen through the eyes of Andrea Royo, like Yo-Yo, Andrea Royo's character as the cousin of my wife. Shanoa Maxwell, the actress, but I'm going to give it to Richard Terrific Jones so he can tell you the whole plot of the story about G, Summer G.
G is, I play Summer G. So Summer G is a guy who basically is a mogul. He's a rap mogul. So he has a bunch of artists, and I decide to buy a place in the Hamptons and go out to the Hamptons to win my love back, actually. So it's basically, you get the history of, I dated his wife in college, and while I was dating her, trying to make my millions in rap music, he stole her away and then on the down low. So now I'm coming in the forefront and stealing her away in his face, trying to at least. And I use her cousin, which is played by Andre here, who's a writer and wants to do exclusive interviews with me. Because I'm Summer G. I'm Summer G.
That's true. He would do anything.
It's the G. He will do anything. He sells his soul to me and to Chip and to everybody. Because basically he has no coof about him. Exactly.
You know what you call a brown nose?
He's a brown noser.
I guess I'll take that.
But I'm going to give it to him so he can explain, because actually the story is seen through his eyes.
Okay.
And it is told through his eyes. So, Andre Roy, whatever.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Yes, the story is told through my eyes. I am pretty much the star of the show, really. But when you have these legendary elders in the movie industry, they tend to cater to them and make them feel important, which we all know is not true. I come onto the set. I work for my cousin's husband, who I find to be obnoxious, but he's
Actually,
paying.
you work for his father.
He's paying. No, I work for him. His father owns the company. But he's the one that fires me and hires me. It's all in the family. And I work for him, and he has told me to come and interview Summer G, who has invaded the Hamptons with his loud music and his rhetoric of beer drinking and fornication in the Hamptons.
First of all,
And I'm ready to do my job, but my cousin informs me of her unhappiness in the marriage, and I for the family, try to help her and
but this is after she sees me.
try to set her up.
This
with,
is
after
tell the
she
story right,
sees
man. Tell the
Summer
story,
G.
tell it right,
See,
all right?
you see the
After she
you
sees
see the
me,
hostility.
she
You see
has
the
problems.
hostility.
She
You
has
see
problems.
you see how it is. You see how it is when they give a man the name that's the title of the movie. This is the kind of outbreaks that happen.
You're gonna tell the story. Just tell it
So
right.
I am caught in the triangle of trying to, whether or not it's right to hook up a man's wife with a man with a wife's true love or first love.
But wait a minute,
Yes.
you didn't have a problem with going with him to see his hoochie mama.
I did have a problem. If you remember correctly, if you really play, if you play the rewind button, you realize I did have a little problem. But
But
money
you did it.
is a wonderful thing, and I was in a big rich man's house, and I was at
Can't serve two
a
masters.
bootleg car.
You can't serve two masters.
I tried. I gave it a whirl. I gave it a whirl.
You're in the world,
And
man.
I realized when I saw him slapping up, some people, that he was an evil man, and I wanted my cousin to have nothing but the best, and that would be Summer G. And,
Although I'm
far from
not
the-
right for doing that, by the way.
Yes.
I just want to.
Say to everyone, this is not the way to do things. Okay, let the married man stay with the married woman. But I'm just, hey, it's a movie, and I wanted her back. What can I say? Anyway, I'm passing.
Okay, well, of course, I had the good fortune to view the film already.
What do you
Which is
think?
very
What
good.
did you think?
What did you think? Tell us, Betty LaMarr.
That's what's really going to sell this movie. What you thought, not what we. Cause we're
They
of
expect
course,
us-
yeah.
they
We're going to
expect us to say
say
good
it's
things.
great.
It's
great.
I was really caught up. It was really good. And as I was saying, I think earlier, that normally when I go to see a film, I get bored. My mind goes into what I need to be doing versus what I'm doing. And with this film, I was from the beginning to the end. I was there. I was really caught up because I could feel it. I could see this happening. These rich, this rich African American family, affluent and in the Hamptons, and this man having this trophy wife that he didn't want. She couldn't curse. She couldn't do nothing. She had to be this good girl to me, and which called plain, what we would say in the South, plain white. And it was okay, but the movie. And then on the other hand,
What we say in the South? That's what we say in the South. Oh,
okay, but anyway, on the other
Plain
hand,
white, all right.
on the other hand, he have this girlfriend, total opposite of his wife.
Now, what would you call her in the South? What would you call her in the South?
Well, I think they call them hoochies everywhere.
Okay. Oh.
But she was
Hoochie hole mama. Hoochie.
she was really fine and everything. But the point is, it's like he's such a hypocrite. He's a typical. You see these men all the time. They don't want their wives to do anything. They don't want their wives.
Hold on now.
I mean, really.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere.
everywhere.
They don't want their wives to dress sexy and look good, but then they look at these women that look the way they don't want their wives to look.
You want a wife at home and a freak in the bed. I mean, that's just.
Well, the wife needs to be both. She could.
She should be.
But at home,
She should be.
that's what he was trying to say. She should be
Okay.
all these things
At home.
Well,
not out in public.
was she a freak at home?
In the scene, she's supposed
Check that.
With me.
You're right. Oh, that was so
trying to
good.
say?
He turned your wife out. He did. I got
He got sloppy seconds. That's all I was.
I did the Wesley Snipes thing. I did the Wesley Snipes thing in Mo Better Blues. I just say.
Shadow. You
Yeah.
shadow.
I did Shadow.
You had a fake little love scene, with her when you was trying to make up with her and stuff, so she could leave him alone. You went in there and did your little thing, but it wasn't as intense as what they did.
Why you got to say little thing?
Well,
Look at that. I know, look at this. I don't want to say nothing, but
I know some of you turned her out. All he had to do was give up the music for her. But anyway, that was really, really good. And another thing that I enjoyed about it was when you went to, I don't know if it was for real or not, but when you broke up with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
she threw something and brought
She was throwing and ranting and raving and carrying on.
Well, you can understand. You used her.
Yeah.
But you
Yes, I did. I used her.
yeah.
Elaborate on that.
You kind of said it. He's a straight up dog. There's no way to get around it. Chip Hightower is a dog and a hypocrite. Does what he wants, any way he wants to, and he gets his comeuppance. But he also kind of has a little arc where he tries to learn from his mistakes and tries to get his wife back. So ultimately, we try to emphasize the whole theme of fidelity, even though we all stray.
Yeah.
We all got the other day.
In the movie.
He said it should be.
But because you didn't have anybody.
No, I didn't have anybody. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up.
I didn't have anybody. I knew that when I read the
Called you
script.
out like that.
I tried real hard, but no, I didn't have anybody.
I mean, you didn't even try to hit on one of the hoochie mamas.
I did, they cut it out.
Yeah, it did.
They cut it out. It was,
Oh,
it was so dirty and the
I think you're trying to
sex
hit on Sonya, right?
scene- No, not so. That was B-more.
Yeah, B-more.
Okay, and then too, you. Her whole problem with you, Sky's problem with you is that you were this angry guy and blah, blah.
But I was.
But you really caused her demise. Because when you told this guy to go take care of his business,
He didn't say shit.
and he got the, well,
Well, now,
Yeah,
don't give it
she
in.
died.
but he was weak-minded.
Yeah, it was.
So he
Don't
came
give
back
in in
to,
a way.
so he,
Don't give the
okay, well,
They're
anyway,
gonna edit it.
They're gonna edit this out.
oh, they will. Okay, but anyway, it was so good. That was my favorite part. You'll see it when you see the movie. But anyway, I want each one of you gentlemen to tell me what you want everybody to get out of the movie and what the whole purpose of G is all about. And so you know where I'm going with this. Let's start with Mr.
The whole
Van.
purpose, the whole purpose of G is to be entertained. Bottom line, our job is to entertain and tell a story. So it's no heavy, deep message. Have a good time. We were actually in DC last night at Howard, and in front of that Howard University audience, those
That's the
students,
Howard Garden.
that's the Howard
Okay,
here.
all right. There
What?
you go.
But they cheered and they laughed and they were loud. They were very vocal, and it seemed to me like they loved it very much. So that's our job. We want people to have a nice ride and enjoy the film.
Okay, well, they would do that.
As Blair says, the movie is about having fun. I mean, I think people go to the movies with too much on them. I think you want to escape from your life for a little bit. So this is what this movie does. It gets you a nice little easy escape into the Hamptons, which most people aren't. They're not. What's the word I'm looking for here, guys?
I don't know.
Can't
Yeah.
afford to go.
Not can't afford, but they're just not accustomed to seeing the Hamptons. They're
And
not
it was
privy to
so
see it.
beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Oh
a
my God.
glimpse. It's a glimpse into the Hamptons, and but it's also about relationships. The movie's about relationships, not just our relationship with the triangle, but about relationships the way husband and wives communicate, the way friends communicate, the way business partners communicate.
Loves, because
And-
that's what, me as a woman, I felt that, the fact that this woman really had loved this
Took
man.
it back. I know. Oh, I remember that guy.
Sammy, if you're out there, Sammy, if you're out there, call me.
Seriously, obviously she loved this man for 10 years, and they get back together and all those feelings, and I think every woman has felt that, even a man, because you felt that. When you all connected on the floor, in your house, it was like, oh my God.
Look at
Remember?
What? Yeah, I remember. I remember. He was. No, I think you're right, but yeah, you're right.
Women are always right.
Go ahead. Hold on.
Yeah, I think, like she said, I think for me the core of the entire movie is it's a love story, and it's all about finding lost love, understanding and rethinking the love that you're in right now, and being honest with what your definition of love is. And I think I want everybody to leave the theater thinking they're with the person they want to be with, and what they would do for that person, how much they love that person, and express that to the people that they love or in love with. And go get that girl if you let her go. Go get her. As long as she's not, my girl. If she's my girl, then you lost her, buddy. She's gone, dog. Let it go. Just let it go.
You should hope Summer G doesn't get
Look.
deal.
If the woman's married,
Walk away.
walk away. All right, we gotta respect marriages nowadays. I think that's a lost form now. People don't want to respect the marriage, and marriage is there by God, and it's supposed to be between a man and a woman. It's supposed to be tight.
So they're supposed to hold it down then?
They are supposed to hold it down. Let's be advocates for that now. Let's be advocates for that
Somebody
now.
comes in because he feels that's the woman that he let go, then that woman supposed to be like, you let me go.
That's right.
That's it. I'm with my husband now.
You're right. You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying?
But let's be advocates. But I'm saying let's be advocates for the marriage. You married man, be advocates for the marriage.
But I like a challenge. Come with it. I'm gonna show you how much is mine now.
All right.
That's all he was waiting for. Was the invitation.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you again for tuning in to the Nighthawk. I'm Betty LaMarr, an entertainment reporter for the Mid-South Tribune News here in Memphis, Tennessee. We look forward to seeing you on the red carpet with the cast, again, of G. And I've had the privilege of speaking with
September 16th?
September 16th.
It opens Friday, September 16th.
Thank you.
Yes.
Friday, September.
It opens Friday, September 16th at a theater near you in Memphis, Tennessee.
Please go see it.
Check it out.
Please go see it. And then if we're on the World Wide Web, check the listings in your area.
We're going to be on the
Good night. Yes.
Bye, Memphis.
Yeah, I'm on the VIH web network. Hi, I'm Betty LaMarr, and thank you again for tuning in to the Nighthawk Show. We're live here at the beautiful Peabody Place in front of the Movie Co. Theater. And of course, today we have the red carpet premiere of the movie G, starring Blair Underwood, Richard T. Jones, Andrea Royo, and Chanel Maxwell. At this time, I'm going to let you listen to some of the audience response and reviews after the movie.
It was a nice movie. It had a nice little plot to it. The love scenes, and it was a nice movie. You should go and see it. It's 2 thumbs up for me.
I liked it. It was good.
How you like the movie?
I loved the movie. It was a great love story, and you all should go and see it. Good look for an independent film. Never seen too many black love romantic kind of movies, so it was really, really nice. Good work, Blair Underwood and Mike T. Jones, and the leading actors.
I thought the movie was wonderful. It had a good plot. It started out really well. It ended really well. It was good. Very happy, very satisfied.
Oh, it was a very good movie. We enjoyed it. Big up to Blair Underwood. Richard T. Jones did his thing. You know, he wasn't as popular, but it was an overall good movie, and I think it's good for the black up-and-coming movies. They can show more movies about us instead of just hood movies. Thank you. Peace.
Loved it. I would tell everybody to go see it. It is suspenseful. It's got romance. It's got everything.
I love the movie. It was a great romance story, a great love story. I think everyone should come out and see it. It's really a different movie that tells about 2 men, love for a woman.
Yeah, it was awesome. We're going to come back and see it on the 16th.
We really enjoyed the movie.
It was really good.
Very good. Everybody should go see it.
Made you think about it.
Something new for
Everybody go see the movie.
The movie was really, really good. I really enjoyed the movie. It was really good.
What'd you like about it?
Well, first of all, the actors in the movie were great. I love Blair Underwood. All of them were good. It was a very good movie.
I particularly like the part Royo, Andrea Royo. I really enjoyed his part in the movie. I think he was really one of the key leaders in the movie, so I really enjoyed him.
They definitely go see that thing. It's good, man. Check it out.
Yes, it's a definitely must-see movie.
Okay, I'm back. I'm Betty LaMarr, and you're watching The Nighthawk, and thanks to the Book Lane. Today I'm with Mr. Blair Underwood, and Blair Underwood is the author of Before I Got Here. The wondrous things we hear when we listen to the souls of our children. Okay, so tell me, Blair, how did you come up with this book, and what inspired you to do this book?
This book was inspired by my son when he was 4 years old. My oldest son, when he was 4 years old, and he was really intrigued by the idea of a joke and what made a joke funny.
Thanks for watching Medical Talk with Betty and Laura. We would like to thank top doctor, endocrinologist, Dr. Kashif Latif, for allowing us to film Medical Talk in the beautiful AM Diabetes Center in Bartlett, Tennessee. AM Diabetes Center is on the leading edge in endocrine care and diabetes technology. Medical Talk with Betty and Laura will focus on the overall health and fitness in the Mid-South.
Made a joke funny. I was teaching him about, it's funny because there's a double meaning usually at the end of a phrase, and it's a double entendre. Now he's 4 years old, so all day long he's talking about, well, Daddy, this is a double entendre, and this is funny because this has 2 meanings here and there. Later on that night, I'm driving somewhere and he's in the back seat and he's looking out the window. He's very introspective. And I asked him, I said, so what's up? What's on your mind? And he said, I had a dream last night, Daddy. And by the way, last night means last night a few nights ago, and last night, the last night before there are no more mornings and no more nights. He's for Betty LaMarr. And I said, no, wait. And I pulled over. I said, I turned the radio down. I said, what did you say? And he repeated himself. It's the last night before there are no more mornings and no more nights. And that's when all the people go up to heaven. And I realized that he was talking about the rapture. He was speaking of the end of time, the last days. I had never taught him that at that point. Because I'm not going to speak to a 4-year-old about the end of time and dying. And I just wouldn't do it. My sister's a minister, said she didn't mention it. My wife hadn't mentioned it. Don't know where it came from. But I knew enough because my mother said with children, always encourage them to speak. Whatever's on their mind to speak. So I kind of went with it. I said, so now who told you that? And he said, well, just matter of fact. He said, well, God told me when he made me, but I only had one ear at the time, so I could only hear a little. That's the reaction I had. I said, that took me out. So what happened was I started talking to other parents and friends, and I shared the story with them, and invariably I'd hear people say, well, man, let me tell you what my son said, or my daughter said, or my niece or nephew. And along the way, I kind of partnered with a friend of mine. Her name is Danielle Kennedy McCullough, and she's a photographer. And kind of talking to her, because she has a daughter who says some stuff too. And we said together, this is a book. So over 2 years, we compiled, we put a website up, and every time I'd go out and I do press, I'd say, by the way, I'm doing this book. If you have any stories like that, log on to this website. And people did. So 2 years later, we have all these stories. And the book really wrote itself because it's in the words of the children. The children wrote the book. And I wrote the foreword, and I edited the book with the Simon & Schuster editor. And it'll be out October 24th. That's a long answer to that question.
So have your parents relayed any remarkable things that maybe you said as a little boy?
I never said anything remarkable. No, I tell you what we found is that by the age 5 or 6, you don't hear these conversations too often, because what we realized is kids start to edit themselves. They start to be more self-conscious of what they're saying and how it is perceived, and they really want to be accepted by their parents. And I also, it's been a journey over the last 2 years. I initially pitched the idea to the publishers as a children's book. Really, it's a book for adults to encourage them to listen to their kids. Yeah, or even when you hear things like that. There's one running theme that a lot of these stories had, the same theme, and it was children speaking of a sibling coming to this earth that they knew in that other place, whatever it is. We don't say what it is, and this is not a religious book. Not any I am a Christian, but this book is not any particular religion, any particular dogma. It is that place that they are connected to. It is a spiritual place that they are connected to, and elderly people are connected to, that we have somehow, not all of us, but a great deal of us have forgotten somehow.
Great. Okay, so what is your favorite story from the book, or elsewhere, and why? Your favorite story?
Well, I'd say my favorite story was the first story, because it came from my son.
Oh.
It is. How do we put that on, man? I got to go back and look at all this, because there really is so many of them. I'd have to say definitely that first one, because it just completely took me out.
I think that would take me out too as well. Okay, so this is what I want to know. What are Indigo Kids?
Indigo Kid, I realize they put that in my bio, but I don't profess to know what Indigo Kids are. There's a book that I did read about Indigo Kids, so I shouldn't really speak on that. And I'm gonna talk to them about taking that part out, because that's what I say. Even in the foreword, I don't profess to be any kind of psychologist or psychiatrist or expert on child psychology. It's just, as a parent, I try to be a perpetual student of life and of my children, and these are observations that I had.
All children have the ability, if given the opportunity, to be able to, bring forth spiritual, spiritual knowledge or whatever from within, like your son did?
I do believe it, and that's why I really hope this book kind of urges or allows parents to say, you know what, it's okay. What they're saying is not necessarily weird or offbeat or crazy. even, but I do think it's these children are the closest thing to God. That's the bottom line. Whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it, they're the closest thing to God.
Yeah, you read the Bible, you know that.
Yeah, and they remember wherever they were. They remember it, and it's that transitional period between infancy and not being able to even speak and communicate, and that time period around 5 or 6 where they learn this strange language called English right now. But it's that time before they really learn how to speak, when they're the most connected, and before they start putting up barriers and structures and protecting themselves.
Even I think starting at conception, because we all come from that universal being, and to me, because we all came from something, we have to be going to something. I'm one of those people. I guess I'm weird, but I think about my life sometime here, and I think about if this is all there is to it, and there's no place else for me to go after here, there's something missing. I feel like there's so much that I'm gonna endure after this life. I believe in, I guess you would say, life, hereafter. So maybe I'm one of those.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, we speak of often the eternal perspective of life, and that doesn't include, I don't necessarily, reincarnation. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about coming back to Earth as different beings and different levels and all of that. It's just about that eternal perspective of another theme that came through a lot was before they got here, they just talked about choosing. We have about 5 or 6 stories where kids speak of choosing their parents and choosing the families that they wanted to come to. Really? Yeah, which is in the book, and it's in their words, which is really amazing. So then it's funny because we've been thinking about doing a sequel to this, because as I said, it's the children and the elderly that are most connected, and the next book will be words of wisdom from elderly people, but also we may call it Before I Go. Things not so much that you've learned, but just wherever that consciousness is in those latter days, in those twilight years.
That would be so good. Who came up with that idea?
Oh, I did. I mean, because just out of this conversation, because it's those two people, those two groups of people, the young and the old.
Okay, well, can you give any advice to parents, tips to parents who wish to listen, that they really want to listen and nurture their children in ways to encourage their natural ability to it?
The great thing about this book is, and I really wanted to make it accessible to kids, or even in its aesthetic, it's bright colors, it's a lot of pictures and images of kids, but we wanted to keep it simple. It's really designed as a coffee table book, and in that simplicity, the only thing I would say to parents is just take the time to listen when you can. Life is easy. We're all trying to juggle life. We're all trying to survive. You're lucky if you get to really enjoy life, because we're all trying to survive and do different things. But when you can, and sometimes if the book does nothing else but it's in the back of somebody's head, you know what? I think that nagging sometimes they're trying to tell me something. Just kind of stop for a second and look in their eyes and say, what are you saying? Or just don't say anything. Just be there and listen.
Thanks again for watching Conversations with your host, Betty LaMarr. Tune in on Fridays at 9:30 p.m. on Xfinity Cable Channel 17, and subscribe to Betty's YouTube channel Betty LaMarr Memphis for more great shows. We will see you next week on Conversations with Betty.